Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another crypto market update. It is a lovely Thursday, so happy Thursday, friends. Of course, it is February 6th, 2025. Foul year of our Lord. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the Berachain airdrop that just commenced today. We are, of course, going to walk through how you can claim the airdrop if you did any involvement with the testnet, Bongo Bears, anything of that nature, governance, any involvement that you had. People have been grinding this testnet for, I don't know, 2 years, I believe. And the airdrop is finally live. Mainnet, I do believe, launches next week. So we'll be going into that. We'll also be doing some price predictions as well, because so far it's been kind of interesting, not doing absolutely fantastic for the Berachain holders out there, which I didn't necessarily expect that it would. Neither do I think Monad will do very well either, but we shall see. In addition to that, we are going to be talking a little bit about the Czech Republic getting rid of capital gains taxes on cryptocurrency. So if you were looking for a new place to move, although why would you want to move anywhere else with all of the exciting things that we've had going on? We'll of course be doing some live trading today, trying to grind up our account past the $5,000 mark, and much more. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, hot stock tips, or death threats, please drop them in the live chat. And of course, a quick programming note: we do this show every single day, Monday through Friday, that is, at least from noon to 2 Central Standard Time. That's 1 to 3 on the Eastern Seaboard, and 10 to noon if you live on the West Coast. If you want to support what we're doing, free content, teaching people how to create systems, trade better, manage risk appropriately, and actually turn their hobby of trading into a business and not degenerate gambling. We're tired of seeing people with down 90% loss porn. We want to teach you how to survive and thrive in any market condition and teach you a real skill that you can take with you so that you're not putting your financial future on the hope and dream that the market will just go up only. You should be, as a trader, able to make money in any market condition. A lot of that comes with self-discipline, self-control, discipline, identifying the current market mechanics, and learning how to navigate and adapt to that. And you're not going to be able to do that if you're just on crypto Twitter, if you're just in some telegrams, and all you're seeing is bull posting and long-only signals. That's just, you're not going to succeed. But if you want to support what we're doing in this mission, please like and subscribe. It helps out more than you could possibly imagine. Share this video to your friends, your family, help people you don't even like that much. They deserve to see this content. And with that out of the way, let's get right into today's content. Whoa, what is going on right here? This is not what we need right now. That's not the thing. We have got something crazy going on here. Okay, sorry. My monitors got screwed up. That's not it either. That's not it either. There we go. Jeez, how unprofessional. How unprofessional. I digress. Okay. Sheesh. All right. Okay. Let's start off with the big skibbity-doos here, guys. Getting into, of course, into our macro first. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Let's get the music going as always. Wow. Gustavo, thank you so much for subscribing over there on YouTube, my friend. Welcome to the family. All right. Starting off, where is Bitcoin in our overall cycle? Well, we're only about 50% of the way through the cycle. We are right at the midline. Weekly currently is consolidating and right now rejecting, moving for a second test of our weekly lows here in the $90,000 range. Total max upside, logarithmic upside of about 300% more. Up to about, let's see here, up to about 403,000 logarithmically. In previous right-handed cycles, we have reached all the way to the top of this. Of course, in 2021, we had a more left-handed cycle. So, but that's where we're at. MVRV, market value to realized value ratio on Bitcoin, is going to be this red line in the background. This is estimating the actual current market value against the realized value, i.e. Glassnode's measurement of how much Bitcoin is actually worth, its actual realized value relative to the price of Bitcoin on chain when each Bitcoin moved last. And it's a much better metric, in my opinion. You can use MVRV throughout all different time frames for all different kinds of trading signals and strategies, but I prefer looking at it just in a broad sense of where have we peaked. And so we're not really anywhere near previous cycle highs. We are currently just double topping at the same MVRV value that we topped back in the summer, back in the summer doldrums, beginning in March and April of 2024. Bitcoin dominance continues to remain above 60%. We do, of course, have this little bit of regular bearish divergence going on with Bitcoin dominance, giving altcoin holders a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a joy, but overall, not too much. On the daily, we see Bitcoin dominance absolutely continue to grind up with no end in sight. We are, of course, overbought here on Bitcoin dominance, but that can remain for quite a while. And again, identifying the current direction the market is going is going to be one of the best skills you could possibly imagine. Volatility, not really anything particularly special here. Volatility peaked out here on February 3rd, and volatility has essentially dropped. 24-hour volatility relative to 7-day volatility. So again, kind of no man's land for entering trades. Best to just hold the direction that you're currently trading in. When volatility is very high or volatility is very low, those are the best times to position for trades. Stablecoin dominance, as I said, continues to grind up. I warned you guys that a close above 6% on stablecoin dominance was going to get very ugly for the markets, and that is exactly what happened. The moment we closed above stablecoin dominance, above 6%, we put in this flash wick all the way up to the 200 SMA, which I talked about, and that is the level that we are again now returning. And, you know, I hate being right, but this is just something I continually pointed out and talked about, that we were bottoming in the exact same area that we bottomed last time. When this chart goes up, prices go down. When this chart goes down, prices go up. And this chart is currently going up, and it is probably going to continue to grind up to the 200 SMA and consolidate there for a little bit, just as we kind of saw here. Maybe we get a little bit of a recovery drop from stablecoin dominance, but I don't know. Looking at altcoin price performance relative to Bitcoin, continuing to absolutely plummet. Let's take off our reversal system. We are in a bearish trend as far as altcoin price performance here relative to Bitcoin. Extremely oversold, but again, doesn't really seem to be any end in sight. Here we go to the weekly time frame, and we can actually see that we have been in a downtrend. Altcoins have been performing very poorly relative to the price appreciations of Bitcoin for quite some time, and we did just recently have that nice pop up back in December, and we really started rejecting, throughout November. And we can see here that really, if we zoom out, that was just, you know, kind of a bounce to the top of that trend, that descending trend line, and now it does seem like we are going to be moving down to the bottom of the trend line. So that not looking spectacular for altcoins here, ladies and gentlemen, as we just continue to plummet. And again, just a simple daily trend following system. You can see PTP here, of course, nothing perfect, doesn't get it every time, but again, pretty much lets you know that when we're in a bearish trend, when we're in somewhat of a bullish trend, and, you know, again, just helps out a lot. Just simply understanding the macro and learning to position yourself so that you guys can adapt to the current environment. Profit Bear, good to see you, my friend. Oh, I did forget to mention, of course, we will be giving away another 1 billion Jesus coin at the end of today's stream, so make sure to stay tuned for that. If you want to enter for your chance to win, all of the instructions on how to win, how to win, you have to get lucky, but how to enter are pinned on my Twitter, on my X. You can find the link for that down in the description. You can follow me at cracking_crypto, cracking like cracking an egg _crypto. It would just be cracking crypto, but somebody swept up all of those domain names and social media names, I don't know, like 7 years ago when we started doing this, and they want to extort us for them, which I told them to screw off. I put a dash in my name. It's all good. I'm paying you $30,000 for a Twitter handle. All right. You guys can see we are going to be doing the most epic marble race battle in history here later on. I do need to update this before we begin. I know we had 3 new entrants just yesterday, so I will be updating this when we get to it. Okay. Moving right along. Not a great day for Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. As we continue to slide, we have a bearish 5-minute trend, bearish 30-minute trend, bearish hourly trend, bearish 4-hour trend, bullish daily trend, bullish weekly trend. But again, we are, just volatility continues to drop here on the daily time frame, and we can see the tightening of our guppy MA bands, letting us know that we are potentially about to witness a daily trend shift. Price came down here and tested support. Does look like at the very least we are going to be moving down for, hopefully for the bulls, a higher low, or worse, a double bottom. This would be our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. We've already tested the support line of approximately 90,000 7 times. Looks like we're heading down for an 8th test. How long can this level of support hold? Unclear, but simple basic trading mechanics, guys, the more often that support is tested, the more often that resistance is tested, the weaker it becomes. So we are beginning to get concerned that this correction is going to be worse. It doesn't seem like, again, guys, I just want to be very, very clear with you about something. I know that I say this a lot, so I sound like a broken record, but we need to be very, very clear about something, guys. Crypto is very misleading. Any place that you think you're getting alpha, you're not. Especially any place that you think you're paying to get alpha. You're not. Real alpha you can only get from grinding the trenches and forming relationships with people who have insider information. Like that's alpha is inside information. If you want real alpha, it's inside information. Otherwise, everything else is just a trader's best guess and analysis. All right. So I trade regularly. I trade every single day. My intraday setups take anywhere from 3 to 5 positions per day. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but on average, that is how many times my intraday systems will execute trades throughout the day. That's all automated. I will take anywhere from 2 to 3 on average daily time frame swing trades per week. But there are some weeks where there are just simply no signals. And I would say on a yearly basis, I will take anywhere from 3 to 5 discretionary long-term positions, 6 to 9, 12-month positions. So there's not always something to do. Very frequently there is, but sometimes there's not. But that's not really what I wanted to talk about. What I really wanted to talk about was this idea that if you go like you have to understand, if you go on crypto Twitter right now, if you go on social media right now, you're going to see a mixture of bear posting, but you're also going to see a lot of bull posting. I've been seeing a lot of content for the last month saying that alt season, or I've seen it for a couple of months now, alt season's right around the corner. It's coming any minute now. The bull market hasn't even started yet. We got to get into the euphoria phase. And all of those things might be true. Okay, but you have to understand that that is not alpha. That is more like a prayer, that is more like a prayer from buy-in holders who are very desperate for price to go up, who need price to go up. I've also seen content, and I appreciate the honesty and the genuineness from the individuals who are posting like this and just being very upfront. But I've seen content where guys are like, hey, I've really bet my financial future that the next 6 months are going to be a roaring bull market. And when I see content like that, it makes me pretty speculative that there actually is going to be a roaring bull market over the next 6 months, especially when I see it's really hard to process this and think about this correctly, guys, because you would think that with all the positive news that we're getting, it should be up only, right? That's what you would think. But if this is your guys' first cycle, then you don't really have a frame of reference. But for my OGs, and most of you guys are OGs who watch me, who were with me, in the 2017 cycle, who were with me in the 2020, 2021 cycle, particularly the 2020-21 cycle. I really want you guys, and it can be difficult, right? Especially if you don't journal, or, if you're not really like in touch with yourself or stuff, whatever, have like a nice daily routine to know who you are, which I highly recommend. But if you don't have something like that, it can be very hard to like remember how you felt throughout a certain period in time, but and remember what things were going on around that time. But back in 2020, 2021, when the market was in 2021, at the peak of the market, there was nothing but good news coming out. There was nothing but good news coming out, and people were saying the exact same thing back then, that even though we were up so much, but the real bull market's just right around the corner. The real euphoria phase, we're not there yet. We're just in greed. And then, we dropped 50% and then continued to drop another 50% from there. So it's very, very hard. You're never gonna see, the market is never gonna be in consensus ever. The general public and the plurality of content creators, they're never gonna be in agreement that we're at the top when we're at the top. It's never gonna happen, because retail's not right, and content creators typically retail. So you're not gonna get alpha about whether the market's topped out or not from social media. You're just not. It doesn't exist. It's never going to happen. And you're not going to get it from your favorite content creators. Well, hopefully I'm your favorite content creator and you're getting it from me. Because they're always going to be bull posting until we're like until it's just blatantly obvious to everybody that we're in the depths of the bear market. And by then we're down at like 70,000 and it's kind of too late to do anything about it. I mean, really, it's not too late because, where are we going to go? Probably down to like 40, 50,000 on a correction, 60,000, maybe something like that. So all of those things being true, that's, going down to 60,000, that would be what, a 40% correction from 100,000. So maybe something like a 50% correction that we would see, which would be fine. That would be a less brutal overall correction than we've seen in previous cycles. So what we've seen with Bitcoin specifically is that as these cycles continue, and if we top here, we'll also kind of have created a new rule, which is that it does seem to be like the law of diminishing returns is strongly in effect. That the percent advance from previous bull market high to the next bull market high is decreasing with each individual cycle. So there's that. But on the other hand, the severity of the correction in a raw percentage term also is decreasing. So that's good. All right. So there's less distance for us to go down. All right. Which is good. So, but anyways, so getting back to the charts, what I want to describe here and why it's so important and why I love trend following trading is that, you guys are, let's see here. Oh, sorry, I don't need to do this. Let's just open up the 2025 watch list. Okay, so I think a lot of people, and I talk about this a lot, and so I probably sound like a broken record, but let's just go over this. So everybody is really concerned about this move and not missing this move, and that's why they're like trying to bid here. And I just want to let you guys know something that there is no way that you can look at the chart and justify to me that realistically you're getting Bitcoin at a good value at a good price at these valuations for the long term. You're lying to yourself, and you'd be lying to me if you were to make that claim. Like Bitcoin is obviously up a lot, and if not at quite relatively close to a local top, right? Or its market high. So if we take that into account, like that, all right, blatantly, why is my music not playing? Okay. Shuffle, because I don't have shuffle on. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so obviously Bitcoin is not at a discounted price. So this is not really the best time to be lump summing your BTC investment. As I kind of went over, my personal strategy is the income that I make every month. I try to set 50% of that aside because I live debt free and I've worked really, really hard. And that's been a lifelong commitment of mine to just live in that fashion. And I've worked my butt off and been very frugal with my money to accomplish that. But whatever, I'm not here to toot my own horn. I recommend you guys strive toward that as well. Living debt free is very freeing. I get to sleep very easily at night. All these people talking about take on debt, use debt appropriately. The opposite, I think, is true. I mean, that's not to say that I don't use debt. Like, I do have a high rewards credit card that I use for every single purchase, but I literally pay it off every single day. So if I go out and I spend, let's say I go out to eat or buy go grocery shopping or buy something at the store. I mean, it's all going on my credit card, and then every night I pay my card. Not every month, every night I pay my card off every night. Is how I do it. And then I get free money. So that's pretty cool. But obviously that's not for everybody. You miss one night and then the next thing, you've got a balance and then you've got interest and now you're freaking out, but whatever. That's just my personal take on it. I forgot my train of thought. So set aside my income, and then whenever I think that, again, I've done it with the SPY. I do it with, IVV is the ETF I invest in. I do it with Bitcoin. I've done it with other cryptocurrencies. But whenever I think that the market's down a lot, that's when I toss my lump sum investment in. And it's hard to do that. It's hard to be contrarian. It really is hard to be a contrarian investor. And it actually took me quite a while to be able to figure that out. I think the reason that a lot of people just don't make it in trading is because it literally, like, you literally just kind of have, even if you have like, haphazard success, it just literally takes quite a while for you to actually kind of figure everything out and put all the pieces into place. I mean, it takes years. It's not going to happen over the course of days. It's not going to happen over the course of months. You can obviously learn things relatively quickly and get going quite fast and be decent. But, the big picture of how to slot it into your long-term vision, of how to incorporate really investment into your life as a lifelong thing. And that's the kind of thing that really will help you or assist you kind of try to time the markets, like buy when the market's down, sell when the market's up a lot. You just kind of have to screw that up like 4 or 5 times, you know what I mean? And so the nice thing is that the earlier you start paying attention to the financial markets. This is why my kids know about the markets. The earlier you start paying attention to the financial markets, the quicker you can start to see the cycles, which I think is helpful. Anyways, so people are very worried about, a punctuated burst of equilibrium from Bitcoin, a la a move like this. Well, you don't have to worry about that originating from down here. You don't have to worry about missing that by missing a low entry. Because I don't know if you've ever noticed, but anytime Bitcoin makes a big move, it actually has to be above major moving averages. And so anytime you're trying to buy Bitcoin below major moving averages, then you're value investing. And I want to talk about something very important with crypto, and we're going to go through some charts here to highlight this. So we'll start off with Bitcoin, obviously. So I want you guys, we're just going to actually, let's use the weekly here. Okay. And why are God's name, we're not logarithmic. Okay, let's get zoomed in here. Shoot. All right, so I want you to pay very close attention to something with Bitcoin. And I just want you, we're not going to start off here. We're going to go to, although, I'll just highlight my case. Bitcoin is very momentum driven. Okay. Bitcoin's very momentum driven. And, you see these big moves and they're happening pretty fast. Obviously, this early days of Bitcoin, that's all well and good. But I want you to pay attention to how its down moves are. And this has never really been different. Okay. Bitcoin is momentum driven. Okay. I want you to pay attention to these down moves and momentum driven. And I want you to pay attention to this big down move. Okay. And now momentum driven. All right. So Bitcoin and Bitcoin is the best, is somewhat the exception of the rule of what we're going to be talking about here. But Bitcoin, unlike a stock, okay. See, and again, keep in mind that when we get to altcoins, this is really going to make a lot of sense, but Bitcoin is in some ways a little bit of an exception to the rule because we do see situations in which investors do step in to buy the dip. But generally, cryptocurrencies as a whole are momentum based. They're not value based. Okay. So, and this is very important to understand as a trader, because what it means is it just requires a different style of trading. It requires a different style of investing. Some people even call it momentum investing, which is once you start to see signs of momentum or a bullish trend, and this takes weeks to develop, but major moving averages crossing, price above major moving averages, RSI trending up, MACD crossover, all the basic things, right? Money flow going up, right? Ichimoku's, whatever you want to use, it doesn't matter. But once you start to see those signs, the strategy really should be just lump sum everything that you can and go for it, right? And just ride until the wheels fall off. And the wheels fall off typically when we close below the 10 exponential weekly moving average. That's a good sign. That's a good exit indicator. Otherwise, you can never really call the top appropriately, or just, sell on the way up is the way to average out the top. So you don't really need to be concerned with trying to buy when price is going down until price gets below the weekly 200 SMA. And I'm going to show you that on the chart here. So I'm going to put the CC EMAs on here. Okay. And let's remove all the drawings that I just made so that we can see a little bit clearer. All right. So 2017 was a good example where we dipped a lot and got bought back a bunch. But 2021 was a good example where we only had one instance of closing below the 10 weekly, and then basically you should have been flatlined until you had a weekly breakout above the previous high. So breakouts above previous highs is one of the best signals to watch for. It's just Justin at crackingcryptocurrency.com, man. Crack 'em. There you go. So always, it always has been that the place where you want to buy Bitcoin for the long term is at the 200 weekly SMA. It's just literally every time. It's just literally every time. Okay. This is the place to buy Bitcoin. Here we have the collapse of FTX. Okay, so we had a little bit more of a steeper bear market, but either at or below the 200 weekly SMA is always, it's always the load up point. Right now, the 200 weekly SMA is sitting around $50,000. Well, it's sitting around $44,000. All right, so take that as you will. There is this kind of theory that Bitcoin at the depths of its bear markets never trades below the previous market cycle high. So we see that the 2013 peak was of course about $1,200, and so when we rejected from 19,000, we only came down to 3,000. Then we have the March meltdown right here, the COVID meltdown, and then at the peak of obviously the 2017 market cycle was about 19,000, and we did go below that to 15,000, but again we had the collapse of FTX in there, because some would argue that the bottom was actually like literally right at the previous cycle top. So with that being the case, then the idea should be that we don't go below like 68, 65,000. I find that pretty unlikely. If we go into a bear market, what's up, Crypto Rick? Again, it does seem to be that the most important thing is not what the previous cycle high was. It's the 200 weekly SMA. And then there are some slightly more nuanced metrics like balance price, delta price, that Glassnode has available, and I've gone over several times. Utilizing on-chain metrics, but again, if you don't want to pay for the Glassnode subscription, if you don't want to get that fancy with it, it's the 200 weekly SMA, right? That's it. That's where you buy Bitcoin, at or below. It's the 200 weekly SMA, and then you just hold. And you just hold for, I don't know, 2 years. That's what you do. This is very, it sounds so easy. It really is easy, but it's difficult to execute on. Because you'll forget, you'll forget, and you'll feel different when you're down there, and you'll forget this one time you watch this one video with this one guy who says he knew how to make money with cryptocurrency, and then you decide to do whatever you want to do, and it is what it is, and you'll be bearish down there, and you'll be shorting, and it's be weeping and gnashing of teeth. But don't do that. Don't be like that. So anyways, what we're watching for right now is how this current weekly candle closed below the 10 weekly MA. Pretty bad. Never good. There is a chance. So what will often happen is when we do close below the 10 weekly MA, we do sometimes bounce back for a lower high or a double top, but not since 2017 have we ever bounced back high. So the main thing, guys, I know like nobody wants to wait and watch for this, but if we get a breakout above 108,000, which is what I talked about, then I'll be pretty interested in catching the next move up. And I'm not really, and you shouldn't be either. Obviously it's a trade, and so you can certainly try to target this if you want, but I am not really concerned with this move right here. I'm not, it doesn't interest me. It's just not what I'm about. Right? Because there's not great EV, right? We're descending towards support for the 8th time. Could bounce, great, but the clear signal to watch for is a strong daily, like not wicks up here. We want to see a daily close up here. And so, yeah. Yeah, I literally just, I literally just talked about that for about 10 minutes, Beckham. Yeah, people say that Bitcoin never goes below the previous cycle high, and I just showed that to be not true. What the level that's important is the 200 weekly SMA. So the 200 weekly SMA is currently sitting at 43,989. So yes, Bitcoin can absolutely go below 50,000. Oh, it's all good, man. Sorry, I wasn't trying to chap your hide. Yeah, so the value area for Bitcoin is between 40 and 50,000. That would be the value area for Bitcoin at the 200 weekly SMA. We've obviously, so not since, I don't know why it keeps switching me out of logarithmic. It's very annoying. Oh, I know why. Hold on. What is going on here? PTP daily. Yeah, it's probably gonna happen. Like we might have what guys, it absolutely blows my mind how many people put stock into the random ramblings of crypto degenerates online. Nobody knows if the bull market's going to continue. Nobody knows. And so all of these, every single post that you see that's been like, bull market's right around the corner, alt season on the horizon, any minute now, those people are fucking idiots. All right, I'm just letting you know this. They're just absolute gibbering baboons. They don't know what they're talking about. And if you listen to people like that, it's going to lose you money in the long term because it's a negative EV play. You know, there's the off chance that you see something like that and you're like, oh, hey, the bull market's right around the corner. I'm just going to go ahead and buy right now. And then maybe price goes up and you're like, I'm a genius. And so then in that scenario, let's say Bitcoin's at like 90,000 and you do that. So I'm not going to buy Bitcoin at that point in time. I mean, I'm holding Bitcoin, but you get my point. And then Bitcoin goes up above 108,000. At that point, I buy Bitcoin. So you're now getting, let's say that you're right and I wait. And maybe I could have bought down there, but I'm not going to because I want a signal. I'm not a reversal trader. So now we're both going to ride the same pump to I don't know, what, 250 or something like that, whatever, great. We're both going to ride that same pump. And at the end of the day, you're going to be up 15% more than me, 15%. Now that may sound like a lot. Obviously, it's going to be like 15% P&L because there are going to be different position sizings and we're going to take profit at different levels. But my point is that the risk, the risk that you take on for that extra 15% and the risk that I avoid by waiting for a confirmed breakout signal and one of the strongest breakout signals ever, the consistent Bitcoin breakout signal, which is a close above a high, not a low by the dip. Okay, because Bitcoin is not a stock, right? I'm going to show you this example with some altcoins. Whereas with stocks, value investors will step in to buy something that's undervalued, right? Because there's intrinsic value in the company in the form of revenue, dividends, mindshare, whatever. There's not intrinsic value with the cryptocurrency. It's momentum based. It's hype. It's when people are piling in and then you get in and you ride that hype train. And the moment that hype train starts to fizzle, big red candles come in. And it's not, we're just going to go look at the altcoin charts and you're going to see that you cannot show me an example of an altcoin where the strategy by the dip is positive EV over a long enough time series. It's just not. It's negative EV. Buying the dip is negative EV trading. It's negative EV trading in cryptocurrency. Momentum trading is positive EV. And every metric, every study, every system shows this, period. So you go ahead and you go buy the dip on Litecoin, my friend. And you let me know how that goes. You let me know how that goes for you. So focus less on buying the dip, focus more on identifying breakouts. And that means that back to this. That means that what you need to be thinking in your head is not being, you should never see a breakout and think, oh, well, that's gone up too much. That thought will lose you money in crypto. That's not how it works. Okay. Most of the best trades, most of the best runners come from buying high and selling higher. Okay. It's not foolproof. You're going to take bad trades, suck it up, buttercup. You're never going to have a 100% hit rate. But that is the type of trading that I want you guys to think about in crypto, because it's not value investing, man. Value investors aren't sitting there like, oh, it looks like EOS is 70 cents, 30% below its current value. Perhaps we should buy some EOS for the. They're not fucking thinking that, dude. People buy EOS. The only time people buy EOS, or any crypto really for that matter, after the hype is gone and it's in a downtrend, is when it's down like 99%, and people are like, oh, well, let's drop like $10,000 and buy 1,000 of this for a penny, and we'll see what happens. That's a high risk positive EV play, but typically, you can just sit on the sidelines because you don't have the capital or the influence to reverse the market cycle. So the best thing for you to do as a trader, especially a retail trader, is just wait and find something with momentum and then trade that direction. Right now, where's the momentum? Let's do the downside. So if you're afraid to short, or if you're afraid of perps and you don't know how to manage risk, you're probably not going to be making very much money. All right. And by the way, if you're a retail trader, and I generally recommend for retail traders to just focus on long only. But that means like you might need to take a break for a while, because the only people that have really been making consistent money over the last, like, I would say 2 months, have been perp traders who know how to trade, and grifters. Right. It's been the season of grifting. It's been like 2 months of nothing but grift. OK, it's been grift city up in here. And speaking of grift. All right, I could show you all the examples, but whatever, I digress. Speaking of grift, let's talk about Berachain. So, ladies and gentlemen, the big news, and the only thing that's up quite a bit today, let's go look at, sorry, like a monkey with ADD. Oh boy. Look at that sea of red. Everything down about 30%-ish this week. It's been a bad week for crypto. But today, Berachain was having a nice little, right, like Trump coin type, initial pump there. And it's all over, guys. It's all over, man. It's all over. Anybody who thinks Berachain's gonna pump, guys, I don't know what to tell you, man. If you want a good trade, probably go short Berachain. All right. Not financial advice. Manage your own risk, guys. I'm not going to hold your hand for you. All right. Only pumps on red days. All right. But let's talk about it from the official Berachain Foundation. Berachain is here. Can I get the, okay, let's unmute that. And then I switch my volume source to right there. All right, so Berachain's here.
生態系展開
Сьогодні у нас на обзорі блокчейн Berachain.
It started off as an NFT collection with Bombaz. Who's has liquidity? Who's probably $420.69 million.
This is what's trying to get into the Berachain right now.
I actually think the best way to actually have a community come together is to make people actually believe in something. You make people actually believe in something. You make people actually believe in something. You make people actually believe in something.
All right, it's almost over. This music video is lit, though. I'm not gonna lie. This is good stuff. Whew. Man, I don't know about you guys, but I'm rethinking everything I just said about Berachain right now. Matter of fact, I think I might go buy me some right now. I mean, how could you not want to buy Berachain after watching that? I'm pumped right now. Whew, man. Contact them, see if they want to pay me to be a KOL. Anyways, so Berachain launches. And I got some tweets here from Hugo. Oh. I'll tell you what, we got to get a hold of those, whoever put that video together, Prophet Bear. We got to get some dubstep Jesus going on, bro. All right, so oh wait, no, let's go to this one first. All right, so Berachain from Hugo says, I think this is the ultimate grift layer one. By the way, from what I understand, we're talking about and B-Flow might be on here. He may or may not be, but maybe he'll watch this later and correct me in the comments. But Berachain, to my knowledge, is essentially like Pulse Chain, and then it's just a clone of the EVM, or maybe it's not like Pulse Chain, and that it's like actually copying the blockchain state, but it's just an EVM clone, right? I'm not sure. I don't think there's really anything here. But Hugo says, I think this is the ultimate grift layer one. It is a pure fork that brings nothing to the table. Yes, it's just a pure fork of Ethereum. It's almost as useless as Blast. It's just another VC insider grift. People wanting to get rich off of Ethereum tech. Yeah, Blast was a complete flop. A huge supply is given to founders and early investors who got in at anything from 50 million. To add to that, their inflation will be in the form of another token, BGT, which can be one-to-one converted to Bera, meaning Bera will have perpetual inflation and the token will tank indefinitely. Their entire innovation is that part of the inflation will be received by validators and part by chosen apps and LPers, which just means they need more inflation than otherwise to keep the chain secure if they're also going to incentivize users by giving them a token. Just a pause here a little bit. For those of you guys who don't really study tokenomics, maybe some of this is just not really your wheelhouse, like understanding this, like maybe, you've never, been much of which basically kind of means like you're only a trader, or you're not really like a crypto OG, or you never didn't do a whole lot of DeFi, and but particularly early investors in Ethereum definitely understand this, because to them, Ethereum inflation has always been a huge deal. And inflation obviously is a huge deal on Bitcoin because it's a deflationary asset. But I think that we need to think directly, okay? Say what you want about Milton Friedman. Obviously, I'm a big Milton Friedman fan, and Milton Friedman was obviously famous for talking about how inflation was caused in one place and one place only, and that's Washington, D.C., through the printing of money, deficit spending. But despite Milton Friedman's popularity, Free to Choose, the video series, all the lectures, normal people, particularly young people, they didn't care about inflation in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. They didn't care. But along comes Satoshi Nakamoto, and he lights a fire. At that point, not amongst necessarily young people particularly, but obviously some young people. But he lights a fire that gets people really talking about inflation as it relates to the US dollar and, of course, Bitcoin and global, fiat currencies around the world. But then, just pause here for a second. it wasn't really until things like Ethereum and proof of stake and all of these other hundreds of chains that have come around that if you really pay attention, you actually, now we have so many people, especially everybody in crypto, super radicalized about, and educated, radicalized in a good way, about what inflation is and what it means. Because with the cryptocurrencies, things like Ethereum, things like Solana, it's on and on and on. Anything that just like kind of prints tokens as part of their inflation, right? That's their emission schedule. You just literally see it. Right? It's like what, like you don't really see inflation with the United States dollar because it's small and it's been happening for so long that it just feels normal to you. And regardless if you're not American, any country that you're in, inflation, as growing up as a kid, unless you're being raised by somebody like me, where it's just like my daughter at 7 years old, I'm like, inflation's bad, okay? But if you grew up normal, like I did, then you didn't really think about or were taught about monetary policy or anything like that. You just kind of took for granted how the monetary system works, how the money system works. And, obviously then you got to get like orange pilled or whatever, red pilled, obviously, when you get older and start to study and learn these things on your own. It was free to choose Milton Friedman for me, a lot of other things, but it just hits harder now, having invested in some of these early blockchains and then seeing how their token emission schedule has inflated away the value of my investment. And it happened fast, like in 2 years, not 2 decades, 2 years. And in some cases, especially back in, for those of you who remember like the tomb days of the Phantom blockchain and that cycle where it was like insane high APYs right there for a second, like 10 million APY. You saw it in seconds, minutes, hours, right? How inflation can just what the damage of inflation does. So I do, even though obviously all these chains are going to fail relative to Bitcoin in the long term, they're just all garbage compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's sound money, nothing else is. I do want to thank, people like Vitalik and, Solana and all these other things for just like showing us what inflation actually does if you pay attention. Back to the lecture. All right. Let's see here. While Bera is worth more than zero, some people will provide whitelisted liquidity pools to earn incentive, probably mainly for native tokens like Bera, which insiders can use to dump huge amounts into as it unlocks. For the non-native tokens like Ethereum or USDT, go ahead and farm the incentives if you think the incentives will cover the impermanent loss, and convert earned BGT to Bera and dump it instantly. I think Bera can't innovate. This is pure VC grift. It won't exist in 10 years. The entire thing will shut down. So here is the breakdown of their tokenomics. Initial core contributors, 16.8% of the token supply. Early investors, 34.3%, community initiatives, 13.1%, airdrop, 15.8%, and ecosystem R&D, 20%. So less than 50% to the overall community and more than 50% to insiders. And then there's this. Another way to think about it. Oh, sorry. I realized you can't see that absolutely very well. Let me fix that. All right, let's go back to that first picture. So here is a breakdown. We can see here initial core contributors. This is the developers. Investors, these are insiders. Ecosystem and R&D, that's managed by the team. But we can see this breakdown from official Berachain is airdrop 15.8%, community initiatives 13.1%. So 48.9% to the community and more than 50% to insiders. But yeah, if you really think about it, it's team and also team. And then you get the airdrop in the community. So it's really more like 28% to the community. And then the rest is insiders. From CoinGecko, Bera is currently trading at $13.43, up 71% since its launch at 1 p.m. after being listed on several major exchanges. From Flood. Prediction, Monad and Berachain will be instant flops, but man, the parties were amazing. From Binance, Binance is excited to announce Berachain on hodler airdrops. The airdrop page will be accessible on the Binance airdrop portal in approximately 12 hours. Plus, the token will be listed on Binance Chain. Let's see here. From Soy Milk, Berachain just launched and Bera is live. Crypto degens have been grinding this chain for months, and now the tokens are trackable in Dex Tools app. New projects and tokens are already launching, and the volume is just getting started. This isn't just blah, 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 blah. From Nansen, $632 million in Bera is planned to be distributed. If you've touched Berachain in any meaningful way, testnet, Bong Bear's governance, this is your chance. Here's a short thread on how to claim. You'll need a Berachain compatible wallet, MetaMask Rabby wallet. Make sure it's backed up and funded for gas. The airdrop is rewarding testnet users, NFT holders, community builders, and protocol contributors. If you've been involved, odds are you're eligible. If not, well, try again next cycle. And then just go to their official checker.berachain.com and airdrop.berachain.com. And that's it. And then from Bo saying, I missed the Berachain airdrop, but thank you for giving me the chance to short with 5x leverage. Created his own airdrop. Good stuff. All right. And then the only really other thing that's trending today, guys, is the Czech Republic eliminating the Bitcoin tax. So the president of the Czech Republic has signed a new law that removes the capital gains tax on Bitcoin for holdings maintained for over 3 years, marking a significant policy shift aimed at encouraging long-term investment in cryptocurrency. So that's pretty cool. So I guess the idea is just buy now and wait 3 years, move to Czech Republic, sell, and I mean, do you guys know what to say about the Czech Republic, man? Okie dokie. Yeah. Yep. Just like you have to prove it to the IRS, you know, when you claim it on your taxes, right? Just need the receipts. All right, looking at my market screener here, again, it's a pretty rough day, guys. Hex is pumping a little bit. Pulse Chain is pumping a little bit. Ondo Finance is up a little bit. Virtuals is down bad. Athena is down bad. Everything's down pretty bad today. Everything's down about 3 to 5% today across the board. Bitcoin failing to get above 98,600. Current level of short-term resistance. Let's go through our scans here. Yeah, Bitcoin bearish trend. No, listen, guys, you all laughed at me, dude. Every single one of you, okay? Not all of you, but I'm just saying, look where my short signal came in, and people were like, dude, how could you possibly take a short signal after a wick like that to the downside? Guys, because the line is red. And that means when the line is red, price is more likely to go down than not. So it's positive EV to trade short. I don't know what to tell you, man. Yeah. Let's see here. Right. Yeah, you proved to me I didn't have that Bitcoin 3 years ago. It's a 200 Hall MA. Crypto Rick. It works really good. It's not perfect. Nothing's perfect, but I found that I was getting chopped up a little too much with the 60. Like, don't get me wrong, I used the 60 for a long time, but I just wanted to reduce my losses a little bit. And I was able to do that with the 200. Less trades, but I size up more now. So now I'm like 3 to 4%. I'm like 5% on Bitcoin trades, but 3 to 4% on altcoins. All right, same thing from Solana, coming off of the short signal here the day before the big drop, and now we're down significantly more. Not oversold, nothing crazy. Looking at the reversal system, yeah, just down bad, guys, but we don't really have not really strongly oversold yet. Ethereum, down bad, coming off of our last continuation short signal on February 2nd. Nothing really new to report. We are starting to get into extremely oversold territory here on the daily time frame, but no reversal signal yet. Let's see here. XRP down pretty bad. We're coming off of that reversal signal, or excuse me, short signal. Again, similar to Bitcoin, right on the day of the dump. Alex says, hey guys, I haven't been looking at my portfolio for the last few days. It saved me the headache. Yeah, if you don't look, you're not down, right? If you don't look, you're not down. Let's see. Let's check out our reversal system here. Starting to get extremely oversold on the daily time frame with XRP, but no bounce signal yet. Sui. Again, coming off that continuation short signal on February 2nd. Let's see here. Reversal system. Extremely oversold on the daily time frame and regular bullish divergence. So let's see if maybe this backfill of the wick can hold. But other than that, I mean, I'd be more interested in trading the short side and holding short positions. Let's see here. Athena, similar bearish trend coming off a continuation short signal on February 2nd. Extremely oversold on the daily time frame and regular bullish divergence, but that regular bullish divergence has been invalidated. So Ohm continuing to hold up really well. Ohm probably the best performing asset over the last couple of weeks, up almost 70%. We did trade, obviously we didn't hold it this long, we just traded from here to here because whatever, I suck, but that's life. Little bit of regular bearish divergence, but nothing too big, and declining volume, I will say, on these pops. So take that with a grain of salt as well. Momentum waning a little bit on Ohm. So just make sure to continue to take profits on the way up. Have your stop loss at break even if you're still holding Ohm. Pepe still in a downtrend, still in a pretty bad downtrend. Let's see here. Coming off of the most latest continuation short signal on February 2nd. A little bit of regular bullish divergence here, and we are extremely oversold on the daily, but memes are definitely momentum based, so just not really seeing anything here. Mansell holding up pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's better. Okay, Mansell, short signal on January 27th, short signal on February 3rd. Need to break above $1.30 to regain a bullish trend. Reversal system, not really oversold, not really in any area we would expect price to turn around. Deep. Not really tremendously oversold. I would say the volume has been pretty consistent on these buys here, but Ondo Finance needs to get above $1.63 to get back into a bullish bias. No short signals yet on Ondo Finance. Radium, we are coming off of a short signal on February 3rd. It needs to get back above $6.84. Other than that, bearish. JTO, short signal on February. Short signal coming off of yesterday. It's like JTO tried to pump today, but completely invalidated. That have stopped you out? I would suck, right? No, I think you'd have been fine. Stop loss would have been at 325. You might have got stopped out. Wouldn't that have sucked? I took a JTO short. Woo! So close. Oh, nervousness, right? My good lord. Anyways, you're sitting okay right now. Yeah, Sol just went from 170 to 290 to 180. Yeah, it's it has been pretty brutal. This has been one of the weirdest cycles we've ever done. I've never seen. You know, I saw some posts that were like, man, and these are from guys I respect, and they're like, I have never seen such a brutal pullback on altcoins, and I'm thinking like, guys, that's because it's not a pullback, man. It's not a pullback, dude. Yes, yeah. My primary level of operation is the daily time frame. Daily time frame for my swing trades, 15-minute chart for my intraday trades. But the point is, guys, crypto is so momentum based that the only really trade, like, all you need to do is just pay attention and like catch these when they happen, and ideally catch these when they happen, which is harder to do. Catching the shorts is a lot harder to do. It really is. So don't feel bad, guys. But it reduces you. I mean, even though you may not like catch those, like here's just Hedera hash graph. You operate in the daily time frame, like, okay, here's a long signal like here. So we can take advantage of this. And then here's short signals here. Obviously you want to be short here. And then you get some long signals starting off here and like take profit here. Then you can get back in here and take profit here. You get back in here and here, and you have like one bad signal, which is this fake breakout signal, right? And it is what it is. And then you get to short this, and you get to catch this, and you have a bad signal here, and you have a bad signal here. But then you get to short this, and you have a bad signal here, and you get to catch this, and you probably have a couple bad signals here, then you get to catch this, right? So just operating on the daily time frame is really all you need, and manage your risk, and that is what it is, guys. So yeah, pretty bearish daily time frame. Hedera hash graph looks like crap. Aave looks like crap. Phantom looks like crap. Hyperliquid's holding up pretty well, obviously, because it's like something new. But I mean, honestly, we got to get a breakout above like $30 before I get super excited about hype. Pengu just falling off the face of the earth. Grass falling off the face of the earth. Morpho falling off the face of the earth. Chainlink falling off the face of the earth. AIXBT. Let's go through the AI agents, right? Which was the new meta. AIXBT. Virtuals down bad. Tau down bad. Render. Fetch AI. AI16Z. Graphane. Cookie, which we traded this, guys. I called this as a signal. We got in on Graphane at 1.8. So right here, 18727, and we sold at 0.27. So we almost caught the top of the wick. You can go ask any little to show you guys. Ain't no sunshine when we long, bum bum bum. AI agents on Solana. Ain't no sunshine when the bear is taking away all our profits. Gonna be June before we pump. I know. Hey, airdrops ain't gonna leave me alone. That's about it, guys. Oh yeah, let's look at Bera. We'll add Bera. So basically, what you're not seeing here on the Binance chart is that Bera dropped on Dexes and was like pump, 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 pump. And it pumped up. I think it went up about 200%. Like on KuCoin in the major listings. It went up 100% on Binance. And then it's just been like, it's down 50% now. So I'll give you guys a good trade setup here, right? This is a setup you can watch. All right, notice how we triple bottom here, okay? We triple bottom, and so when you see that, okay, so when you see a triple bottom, all right, what you want to see, or what you want to trade, in my opinion, is the close above this level, right? And then you're looking for a big move. And notice here that we get a wick, so that's not good. All right. It also gives you like relatively tight invalidation. You can just say, hey, I want to see a strong close above this level. And then, you know, if we close back down below this level, I'm out. But notice here that you also have good invalidation. Let's say that like let's say you like bought the triple bottom, right? And you're like, oh, well, this is a great like reversal buy. Okay, great. But then the moment this happens and you break this level over here, you've got to get out, man. No problem, Hendy. Listen, I want you guys to understand one thing. All big losses in trading, every single big loss starts out as the failure to correct a small mistake. That's all it is. Okay. And it happens to me. Like just recently, I lost $3,500 on some AI BS token called Sola. All right. You know, I'm in some different, I converse with different people and get different alpha or whatever, right? And it was kind of like this one was floated around. Some of the guys were like, hey, we think this project's going to do well. I'm like, all right, cool. And so I went into it. And I went into it and I was watching it, right? And it had pumped quite a bit and it pulled back a little bit. And so I got in on the pullback and I remember looking at the chart and I drew out my lines and everything. And I said to myself, okay, it had pulled back to support, and I'm like, so I bought it there, and then it pumped a little bit. I'm like, all right, cool. If it comes back down below this support level, I'm just going to get out. And then, it like pumped for a couple hours or whatever, and I went and got something to eat, and I came back, and I looked at it, and it had come back down below my support level, and I was like, well, gosh, I mean, it's only at like $14 million market cap, right? Like, this, of course this thing's going to 100 million, right? Like, maybe I should be like less. Come on, man. It's only whatever whatever money I'd put into it, right? And so right there, I broke my rules. I refused to correct a small mistake because my rule was, okay, well, if it violates this level, I'm just going to get out and I'll reevaluate and look for a different entry. But I refused to correct that small mistake. And then when I woke up the next morning, it was down 70%, right? So all big losses start off with the refusal to correct a small mistake. That's it, period. So being very diligent in correcting your small mistakes will lead to your long-term success. Guys, I've been live for an hour and 13. I'll be right back in just a second. Don't go anywhere or else. Oh my gosh. Have I really been talking while muted that whole time? My good godness. Yeah. Okay. Apologies for that. All right, guys, listen. We are going to be doing, we're going to go ahead and do it now-ish. We're going to do the marble run. I hate to cut today's stream off a little early, especially because we didn't stream yesterday, but I have mentoring here at 2 o'clock for the Crypto Trading Academy. And I have a few last minute preparations that I want to do for that. So with that being said, we're going to get to the marble race here. I need to add our new entrance. Get the music off and turn that down just a little bit. Sorry, it's pretty loud. Okay. Bear with me as I add our new people in. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got, and we've got, okay. How many people we got? 54. 54 people in. Okay. Oh, and we'll add pack them in. Okay. Didn't see your email, but I will add you in. Did you just send it? I don't see an email from you. Unless... Huh. Just let me double check something here real quick. Yeah, came in. Whatever. Peckham, I don't have your email, but I put you in here, and so if you win, I'll talk to you. I'll communicate with you on Discord to get your Ethereum address. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do. Let's do Twisted Toothpick. That sounds kind of cool. I'm gonna start. How many racers do we need? 55. Bots. 55. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus got listed on Robinhood. Here's the only thing I don't like. I wish there was music. Oh. But it's okay. I got the music covered. I think. Yeah, we got the music covered. It's all good. Okay. On your marks. Get set. For 1 billion Jesus coins. Who will be the winner? It could be anybody. Okay. Auto camera is B. View first is 1. Okay. Got that. Excellent. On your marks. Get set. Here we go. And Mikhail in the lead. Coming down the big Plinko blocks. Coming down the big Plinko blocks of death. Mikhail W. taking the lead. Everybody else struggling to get out of the Plinko blocks. Down the loop. Here we go. Through the ram's horn. Oh, Mikhail up and through. Mikhail is in the strong lead. Absolute dominant first place performance from Mikhail here. But Kex, you absolutely getting through the swinging pendulums of death. It's really anybody's game here. Schwank pulling ahead, Barry B pulling ahead, but Schwank in the lead. Schwank leading strongly through the ram's horn, again. Zona A pulls ahead. How did Zona A pull that? No, Schwank's still in the lead. Schwank's still in the lead. Oh, that's going to cost him. Who's going to be the first to drop? Schwank is the... but no! Barry B pulling ahead. Schwank pulling back ahead. Schwank is committed. Oh, but Pancake Orion. Wait. Oh, Schwank completely goofing it there. Daniel Mercer getting through. Coming up on the speed up. And the launch. Flawless. Not even a bump there. Flawless from Daniel Mercer. Excellent job. Everybody else struggling to catch up. Sammy Y. Nope, but Daniel's still holding on to the lead. Dominant. Oh, but Sammy Y pulls it up. Daniel got a little bogged up there. Man. And Sammy Y pulling ahead, dropping into the finish line. Absolute steal. Here you are, Peckham, finishing in a strong 9th place. That's not bad for your first race. Most people bounce right off the track and they never make it. So excellent job, Sammy Y. Congratulations on your win, my friend. Sammy Y in first place, followed closely by Daniel Mercer, and then Risky F, who has been a strong contender, but not a first place contender. Risky F, you've been a strong leader. And Leo M also a strong contender. Zona A and Barry B also strong contenders. I want to give it up for Schwank. Definitely a strong performance throughout that race. Good job, Schwank. Just not enough, my friend. Sammy Y wanted it more, needed it more, thirsted for it more. And of course, Sammy Y pulling ahead with a legitimate win. Top 10 first run, Peckham. You cannot be mad about that. Most people do not pull that off. Sammy Y, congratulations. I am now looking for your deposit address as we speak. You actually literally just entered yesterday. And so I am going to go ahead and send you your funds right now. Oh, wait, not that one. Here we are. Send. Boop. Two. 7. Oops. Okay. Address confirmed. Boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1 billion Jesus coins coming your way, worth a nice $51.95. On the way to Sammy Yong. As soon as I sign this transaction. And sent. Excellent, my friend. Sending you an email. All right. Good job, Sammy. Back to the race menu. I will remove you from the race list. Boom. 54 racers for tomorrow's competition. All right, congratulations, everybody. Thank you so much for participating. But other than that, thank you guys so much for joining me for another crypto market update. We will be back tomorrow, same crypto time, same crypto network, noon to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you guys want to support what we're doing, please subscribe to the channel. It helps out more than you could possibly know. You can, of course, watch us every single day, Monday through Friday, on YouTube, Rumble, and X, where we live stream to you not only the current market conditions, the best possible trade setups that I see, but also advice, training, FAQs, fun facts on systems trading, strategy creation, and just trading better in crypto, plus some rants about everything from me. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Please like today's live stream. It helps out more than you could possibly imagine with boosting us up in the algorithm and getting new viewers, getting new subscribers. And please share this video to your friends, your family, on your social medias, in your Discords, in your Telegrams. Show your alpha whales about me. See if they'd like to come on and talk. We love alpha around here. Make sure to go down and sign up for the free Crypto Alpha Report, data-driven research delivered into your inbox to keep you armed and dangerous. And join our free Discord. Lots of great stuff in there. We'll be doing some cool giveaways in there as well later on. Other than that, guys, trade safely, be excellent to one another, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's live stream. Cheers now.